Hello there, it's Fabienne Fredrickson from clientattraction.com and the Client Attraction Business School. And I'd like to tell you a story about one of my most panicky moments in my business that I experienced over all these years. And it is a time at which my assistant at the time gave me a friendly reminder that the binder content, usually several hundred pages, for my upcoming 3-day event, a brand new event that I had never done, where several hundred people were coming, was due that coming Monday. And it is, just the week before, a day or two before the weekend. And I did a double take and I said, what do you mean binder content is due Monday? Oh yeah, I just wanted you to know that your all of your content is due and going to the printer. And I don't think I spoke for a minute. And if I'm being really honest, I probably cried, I probably got angry, I probably started blaming, and I thought, this is not happening to me. I cannot believe this is happening to me. And after, wiping away the tears, and not to sound melodramatic or anything, I had to get into strategic mode. How does one, because I'd never done this, I usually take, several weeks to create content and several hundred pages because I pride myself in writing fantastic content that changes lives for our entrepreneurs. So the question is, how do I create that in just 2 days? We had originally been scheduled to go skiing, leaving on Friday night, coming back on Sunday afternoon, and needed to no longer go skiing, so my husband was kind enough to take all the kids with him. And there I sat on Saturday morning staring at the computer. How is this going to happen? I needed to streamline what I was working on. My big problem was that, how do you streamline? And the concept that I want to share with you that dawned on me in that moment of sheer panic and absolute necessity, right, is that I started thinking about the Pareto principle. And the Pareto principle states in all things that 20% of results 80% of results get created usually in 20% of the time. So there is usually 80% of your effort towards a particular project that is wasteful. So I thought, if that is true of everything in nature, how can I use this to my benefit here in writing 2 weeks worth of content in just 2 days? And I started looking at, if I only have this amount of time, what must go by the wayside? What is being wasteful? And instead of working on the sales letter and the tour stops and the content and everything, I just started working on one thing. And this grid is what saved me over that period of time, those 2 days. And what helped me create was what was one of the best 3-day events. I started thinking about, who am I writing this to? So write this down. Who is this for? Who is this person? Because I've written books before and I've written programs, and sometimes when you're not clear about who it's for, you go into tangents. So as you're writing content or as you're working on anything for your business and you want to do it quickly, figure out who it's for. Next, figure out what their biggest struggles and obstacles and challenges are. Who it's for, what their biggest issues, challenges, and obstacles are. And third, what is it that they need most right now to get a different outcome, to get a different solution, to achieve success? When I have those 3 things, I was able to create content very, very quickly. First, instead of working on the 3-day event binder first and then creating a tour stop presentation that's 3 hours from there, and then creating a 40-page sales letter, and then creating a video, I started doing the opposite. What is it that they need to hear most? What do I need to provide in this? And what are their biggest questions? And I started working from the sales page forward, right? Because that is where the majority of the recyclable stuff is. You start with what they need, then I went up, and I found myself, by focusing on the 80-20 Pareto principle of creating content, I found myself able to do it in just 2 days. The binder content went to the printer on Monday, and I found a new way to streamline, to reduce, reuse, and recycle my content to be able to create the results very, very quickly. So I want to ask you today, what is it that is the 80% of wasteful activity, either in how you write content or in how you do anything in your business? What is it that's wasteful, and how will you streamline, reduce, and reuse? That is your assignment today. Thanks so much for watching, and here's to you writing content quickly. Bye.